Alright, my fault, guys, that this video is gonna look like a little weird, but look, this is the original file, right? One on the left, right? Playing perfectly fine. Okay, yep. Now, I don't know what the fuck is up with this one, but like, as you can see, like, it's like so exposed, the sun. I don't know why it got corrupted or some shit, so I'm gonna have to put this filter on, so it's gonna look like this, you know? Alright, whatever. What up, my mills and dilfs? How y'all doing? Bro, do you see this shit? New York, bro. Last video I was in a jacket, freezing. Now I'm in a shirt, bro, shorts. Like, what the hell? Next week, you're gonna see me in the snow? Watch. New York be wildin', bro, with this weather. Anyways, we back with a fucking banger. Thank you, Esteban, for recommending me this idea, this topic. You know, I haven't really thought about it. My boy Carl Jung. If you don't know Carl Jung, he's one of my favorite psychiatrists. You know, he doesn't have a lot of books out, but like he likes to understand the psyche and what triggers certain areas and certain like lashes, as we're gonna talk about. Today we're gonna talk about the shadow. So whenever Carl Jung talks about the shadow, he talks about, well, there's two different types of shadow. There's the personal shadow and then there's the collective shadow. You know, personal is always at the personal level and collective is as a society as a whole. So on the personal level and society level, shadow in general, he would see it as the unknown qualities, and if known, the bad qualities of a person. And by unknown or known and quote unquote bad qualities, so some references to like get an idea of what like a shadow is like some people can see being assertive is bad, some people can see being blunt is bad, you know, being truthful is bad. And it's not necessarily these things are bad, but we're so used to our ego, our little face that we put to society, that we wouldn't want this mask to be scarred or be viewed as an ugly mask. You feel me? So his main point that he wanted to get across was we shouldn't ignore this shadow. Instead, we should understand it and integrate it into our life, because this is another half of us that we're basically limiting ourselves to if we don't understand it. And also, it's another side of us that can take over us if we're not, first of all, if we're not conscious of it and its existence. Then, if anything, if you don't know you have a problem with something, you don't have a problem then. You feel me? You just don't know. So basically, you're just gonna continue on life the way you're living life, you know? So obviously you have to acknowledge that the shadow is there. So basically the whole problem with that is you can only repress something for so long. It's gonna come out, and usually it comes out when a person is depressed or a person is under the influence of alcohol or intoxicated. You know, they come out and blurb shit. Everybody's having a cheerful time and they could just come out and just, I don't know, say some terrible shit. And that's basically the shadow that's just wanting to come out. You're repressing it for so long that it's going to come out eventually, in probably the worst way. So the best way to counteract this, as Carl Jung would say, is integrate it. Understand what your unknown shadow is. What qualities would you qualify as bad in your own sake? You feel me? Not as society's sake, but on a personal level. What qualities would you really consider as immoral in all situations? Because the problem with limiting certain qualities like assertiveness, that's not necessarily a bad quality. Let's say you're trying to get a raise in a job. How are you going to get a raise if you're just not being assertive and not speaking for who you are and what you stand for, your worth? Your boss is never going to take you serious and you're going to keep pushing you around, keep leaving you on that position, not giving you that raise. Ooh, we back, baby. So as I was saying, there are certain times you need to speak up for yourself. You know, a lot of us don't even want to tell the waiter, like me, or the waitress that the order is wrong. You feel me? Like, you just deal with it. And that's to a point where, you know, it's not bad. They got it wrong. You should just tell them how it is, you know? I'm not saying cause a scene, but, you know, you just talk to them. And then we on to the collective shadow. So the big problem with the collective shadow is that if you have a big enough following and if the shadow is very immoral, like what it resents or what it envies or whatever, it can lash out like to the world really like badly, you know, world domination type shit. An example like that is the Nazis. So on the personal level, we have Adolf Hitler, right? Adolf was very, I guess, humiliated that his country lost. You know, he didn't like that Germany lost. He was very tight. And he basically started, you know, talking this shit, you know, and got a following. And this following behind him was a bunch of people that had similar shadows. You understand? He got them all together, you know, big collective shadow. And what did he do? World War II. So the collective is always has to do with the personal. You feel me? You can always, like in the Nazis, there were people that dealt with the personal shadows that didn't follow the cult. They didn't follow this following. So he always tried to get people on an individual level. He never worried about the masses. As long as he can affect one person and get this one person to do some shadow work, is basically what is called to integrate your shadow into your life. Then that's one difference or one person he doesn't have to worry about. That's just with the masses, is being mindless and not thinking. So this was just a quick summary of the shadow. You know, if you want to continue on and learning about this, you know, which I believe everybody should, definitely look up Carl Jung. He's one of my, I'm telling you, he's one of my favorite psychiatrists. You know, even my boy Jordan Peterson. That's Jordan Peterson's father. That's Jordan Peterson's father, bro. I swear to God. I'm playing Peterson, Mr. Peterson. I'm gonna go clean my room, I promise. Anyways, take care for watching. Love each and every one of y'all. Oh yeah, Ross busted on the track. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I love each and every. I wonder if these kids think I'm retarded. Or this building. Look at them, they right there, bro. They definitely see me. Oh yeah. Ross busted on the track.